Trayambakam ye jamahe Sukham dim pushtivaranam varukamivar bandhanat Mrityo mukshiyamam mritat. That's how I'll start out today.
Beautiful.
Okay, are you ready? Yeah. Ready when you are.
Action, Tracy.
Trayambakam ye jamahe Sukham dim pushtivardhanam orvar Ukamivar bandhanat Mrityo mukshiyamam mritat. The mantra that I started out with today is for healing, rejuvenation, and nurturing. And after the week that has passed, I think everyone needs that. As my friend Susan said, the last week has made the year of COVID seem like a walk in the park. People have shown remarkable resilience and ingenuity and stamina and ability to and willingness to help out each other. And yet I think we still need to acknowledge the underlying shaking of the foundation. So many things that have always been in our lives, a continuity, a certainty, has been dislodged. And so today's class is just all about recovering from a crisis situation, reestablishing a sense of tranquility and equanimity. All right, so let's go ahead and tune in to get started. Good. Let's just do a little bit of quick spinal flex to warm up the spine. Inhale, tall, straight spine. And exhale. Let's do one more variation on spinal flex. This one's going to be focused at bringing some flexibility to the psoas muscle, and we're going to do several different practices for the psoas, and I'll explain why as we go along. So if you can, ideally your inner thighs are sort of turned inwards towards each other, and you can sit on top of anything. You can even be sitting in a chair, but you definitely want this sense of internal rotation of the upper inner thigh moving down and back. And then focus the flexibility area between the base of the rib cage and the tops of the thighs. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. And if it feels okay, interlace your fingers behind your head and keep going. And if you can, interlace your fingers, flip the palms facing up, extend it overhead, and a few more repetitions like that. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, release. Good. Okay, we're going to come over onto our back for some more work with the psoas. It is the muscle that I would say is associated, that is the foundation for the fetal position. The psoas muscle is the first muscle to be able to engage when we're in utero. The first muscle that has myelination to it, or innervation to it. And it goes from the inner thighs, that spot that we saw, passes through the pelvis and then along the lower segment of the spine. The lumbar area of the spine up to the diaphragm. Okay, so we're going to, and anytime we're in stress, that muscle is going to have a reflex of being tight and short. So we're going to work with releasing the tension there. You want to start with your legs in a 90-degree angle, and to engage the psoas, it's all movements from higher than 90 degrees in towards your body. So put your hands on your thighs and give yourself some resistance, and then try and pull your knees into your chest. Your tailbone and your buttocks should come up off the ground, and then release. Let's do that 5 times. Engage, push, release. I'm inhaling and holding and pushing, and then release. And release. One more time. Good. Now let's stretch that same muscle out. We're going to stretch one leg long, that same arm long. The leg that's stretched out, get a little bit of that internal rotation on the thigh, and you can slightly side bend your body just a little bit and stretch. Good. Then reverse, do the other side. Good. Back and forth. Again, we'll do this 5 times to each side. And you should feel a distinct stretch all through this midsection of the body. Okay, now we're going to combine those last 2 things. We'll alternate between one knee being at 90 degrees and tucking it into our body, and the other leg stretching out straight. So you're going to go back and forth while one side is contracting, the other side is stretching. So to really be able to engage the psoas, your knee has to come closer to your chest than a 90-degree angle. Great. Inhale your knees to your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. And then rock yourself up. All right, onto hands and knees. So very similar to what we did, but now we'll be flipped over onto the hands and knees. So we'll start with contracting. So our leg is already in a nice 90-degree angle, and we'll take it in towards our chest, contracting all in through this right side, and then release. And let's do the other side. We'll go back and forth. Do a few more, and the emphasis is on feeling the contraction, the movement come from your midsection rather than your thigh. All right, now let's do the stretching component. So reach your leg out. If you can get that slight internal rotation of the thigh, that's going to be a big help. And reach, 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 emphasizing trying to stretch across the torso section. Good, do side to side. Now let's combine the two. Curl in, contracting, extend. Curl in, extend. It's probably going to be easier to just do one side repetitions. If you've got the ability to balance, extend the opposite arm, or you might even be able to extend the same arm. There's an added benefit of you'll have to use that same psoas muscle as core stabilization. All right, let's do the other leg, other side. Do a couple curling in and extend out. And if by some chance you can stretch the same arm, same leg, do that. And then one final stretch, balanced on one hand and one knee. Extend the upper leg out as far as you can and internally rotate it if you can. And then we're going to extend through that whole arm. So slightly different than, a slightly different emphasis maybe than how you normally do this. We're trying to get as much length and stretch through this entire right side. So you might even have a little bit of a back bend to it, a little bit of a side bend. Oh, good. And we'll do the other side. All right, so on one knee and hand, extend the leg, internally rotate, and stretch. Maybe even slide that leg back a little bit. Great. All right. Come back to seated. We're going to alternately do Gyan Mudra, so index finger and thumb tip touching, and then middle finger and thumb touching. And you're going to go back and forth. The eyes are open and gazing towards the tip of the nose. Oops, these two fingers are supposed to be down. And you're trying to do this as fast as you can, anywhere from 3 to 5 times per second. I'm going to do this for a little bit. And we can use this to do all the usual things, all the usual steps for a successful meditation sit. You start to let your physical body get more and more settled, more and more still. If you saw the image that was up for today's class, the statue of a Buddha, start to feel like you are a statue of a Buddha, very still. Over the last week, it seems like someone that I cared about and was in communication with was experiencing some extreme difficulty, like minute by minute. And my mind just wanted to run wild. So use this touching back and forth of the fingers to start to bring the wild horses of our mind back under our control. It's absolutely hardwired into us to want to react when there is stress, when there's somebody or ourselves in danger. Let your mind keep focusing down just on the touching of the fingertips. Over the last few weeks, we've worked a lot with the nose tip gazing, so you can really refine that skill set if you remember it. And then what you might notice is that from starting to settle in to the routine, that your breath rate will start to slow down. You'll start to take a few deeper, more relaxed breaths. And you can start to ride on that, extending it out. Stretch the breath out as you're breathing in. And stretch the breath out as you're breathing out. Still gazing towards the tip of the nose. And now on your exhale, imagine that you're 100 years old and that you're blowing out all of your birthday candles. So you really got to do slow, steady, consistent. Here we go. Good, keep going with the practice. And now we're going to shift to breath of fire through the mouth. Great, keep going. So if it feels more comfortable now to close your eyes, you can. And we're using systematic techniques of having the breath break us out of physiological crisis. When there is stress, when there is distress, it's a natural reaction of the body to hold the breath, to restrict the capacity of the breathing. And so we're breaking through those patterns, moving back to a natural breath that happens when you're in a relaxed state. Last minute, now breath of fire through the nose. It's a little bit easier tapping the fingertips with this breath of fire. You might be able to go a bit faster with the shifting back and forth between touching the fingertips. Great, inhale, and shake out your wrists, shake out your hands. Exhale. Again, inhale. Just shake it out. Exhale. One more time. All right, good. More breath of fire, hands up, the level of your head, and we're just gonna rotate at the wrists. Keep going. Several of the things we've been doing help our the hemispheres of the brain to coordinate. Good. Inhale. Again, shake it out. Oh. Good. This next one's a little bit long. We'll do maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So if you want to, if you get tired of sitting, it's easy to do the same thing standing up or any other position that you can adopt that feels good. The hands are going to be in a position, the arms are in a position that encourage the breath to be down in the lungs as opposed to shallow breathing that uses the upper torso muscles. So hands can either be here, or you can just touch the base of your skull with your fingertips, or you can even interlace your fingers behind your head. So pick any one of those where you can very distinctly drop your shoulder blades down, and you want to make sure that this area stays long and relaxed the whole time. Okay, so then we're going to go, we're going to just start moving side to side with the goal of getting every bit of muscle tension out of the rib cage. So we can just start real fundamental, like side to side. You can do forward and back. You can get some rotation in there. Try the different hand positions, see if one feels more compelling. So starting out, getting warmed up, getting familiarized with your torso, your rib cage. tuning your focus into feeling each rib where there might be more restriction. And once you do start feeling limbered up, you can make this into more of a dancing or a little more integrated movement. I've switched to just straight side to side, and you can do that. Inhale one side, exhale the other, and then switch the breath up after you've done it that way for a while. You may get a little bit more rotation in your movement. And now keeping the shoulders down, keeping the necks relaxed, go ahead and stretch your arms up. Hands reach up, shoulders reach down. A few more expansive breaths like this. Good, and then let go. Again, you can do this either seated or standing or in any position you like. We're just gonna strike the inner thighs. Keep going. I'm gonna stop so that you can hear me. This helps with calcium, magnesium balance in the body, mineral balance in the body that can get thrown off through stress. Almost done. Great. Interlace your fingers tight and press them strongly into your belly. You can use the pressure of your hands into your stomach as a little resistance to help you stretch your stomach into as you inhale. And maybe enhancing the exhale by squishing your hands a little bit into your belly when all the air is out. If you like using Ujjayi breath, this would be a time to do so. And the breathing and Ujjayi should both be very distinctly stretching the rib cage again. So we're riding on the work that we did in the last exercise. Feel like Ujjayi helps you to stretch a little bit more between each of the ribs, and that the breathing practice and your hands help you to stretch as well. And now we're going to use our mental powers to breathe through the left nostril only. Let yourself know that every breath in, every breath out, you're getting more and more relaxed. You might even start to feel a little bit sleepy. You're breathing so stretched out. Maybe your inhale is up to 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Same on the exhale. Using mental focus to feel this just in the left nostril. And for a lot of you that have been practicing pranayama for a while, you'll have a physical sensation or perhaps a image of light that goes from your nostril up to the brow spot. As you continue to breathe like this, we're going to switch to the other nostril in just a second. Great. Now, total focus, using your mind power to breathe in and out of the right nostril only. Excellent. Keep going. I think about this as being the command center thinking. There's going to be parts of your mind that will be telling you that you're not doing it right, that you can't do it, that it's impossible. And you have to just realize that there's part of you that is above that, is in charge, is a higher pay grade than the negative part of your mind. Being open to a psychic experience here of either physical sensation or an image of light from that right nostril up to the brow point as you breathe. Still having the experience of becoming more relaxed each time you breathe in, each time you breathe out. And now we're going to alternate, still without using our hands. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right nostril, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. And we're going to count that as round 1. Now round 2. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Round 2 done. Starting round 3. Inhale left. Exhale right. Right. Left. End of round 3. And that's the end of round 4. Round 5, inhale through both nostrils at the same time. Exhale profoundly through both nostrils. That was round 5. So keep going in that same manner. You'll do 4 more rounds, alternating, and then 1 round through both nostrils. Really letting yourself experience your body getting more and more relaxed. Especially with the amount of adrenaline that may have been coursing through our bodies as we use our breath to shift into the parasympathetic nervous system, stepping away from the adrenaline charged state. You might feel even more fatigued, maybe more sleepy than you had anticipated. Remembering on every 5th breath to go through both nostrils, in and out. This practice is wonderful. It helps with pulling us out of fight or flight. It helps to balance Ida and Pingala, the alternating states of our nervous system. And it helps to regulate the breath. It helps to get us out of the holding the breath in any part of our body, the diaphragm, the rib cage. Just another minute longer. And again, if you saw the image that is up for today's class, that Buddha, completely passive, completely still, feel like you're moving more and more to that state. Great. And then after the next breath out through both nostrils, come down on your back to relax. So there's this great technique, we use it quite often to get a little deeper into Shavasana quickly. So once you're down on your back, tighten all the muscles in your body. And depending on how you are today, that may mean that you come up all the way off the ground except for just your bottom. It may be your heels and the back of your head stay on the ground. Do your best to tighten every bit, squeeze, squeeze more, squeeze more, squeeze more, and then let go. Take a second here to very slowly turn your head side to side, letting go of tension in the neck. Come back to center, swallow a few times. Again, releasing tension. Open and close the mouth. Open the mouth and stretch it out, like almost like a big yawn. And then release, and everything in your face relaxes. Do that a couple of times. And then as you rest, the lips are together, but the teeth are apart. The tongue rests down into the floor of the mouth. The area behind the ears, just at the base back of the ears, suddenly feels a little bit heavier and sinks towards the floor. And as it does so, you become less impacted by what you hear, the sounds. Although sounds are still there, your ability to mitigate how much you react to them is enhanced. At the base of the nostrils, there's an area that becomes a little bit heavier. And you feel that part of your face sink towards the floor. And again, you feel as though there are still sounds. Sorry, there is still sense, but your need to react, your physiological wiring to react is diminished. Taking your focus to the area just above the eyebrows. Now you'll do a movement, but it's so subtle that you won't create any wrinkles in your brow at all, but you're going to lift your eyebrows upwards maybe 1/8 of an inch, allowing there to be less muscle strain in your forehead and around your eyes. Maybe feeling a sense of weight and sinking around the eyes and the forehead. And again, feeling your ability to choose how extreme your reaction is to what you see. Just like the Buddha in the snow. Still fully experiencing the realm of the senses, but with the ability to control how much we react. Feeling even greater release and surrender in your entire physical body. Letting go of the urge to resist what already is, and using those resources to resolve the situation, to resolve the probably very long, ongoing damage that will have to be repaired. Feeling yourself overcome with calm and equanimity, soothing the stress of the last week. knowing that you have the reserves to move forward. Great. And we're going to come up now for meditation. So wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, shrug your shoulders. Maybe rub the palms of your hands together, the soles of your feet together. Twist a little bit side to side, however you want to do that. Maybe bending the knees and dropping them one way and then the other. And eventually coming back upright. All right. And again, this meditation is for tranquilizing the nervous system, tranquilizing the mind, as we're able to move out of the normal and natural stress response that this week has created. Instead of the energy of our body going to that, it can go towards recovery. So the hand mudra we're going to use, if you put all the knuckles of your two hands together, and then the thumb tips are going to touch. And then once you're in that position, the middle fingers point straight out, and the thumb points straight back towards your chest. We're going to inhale and hold the breath in. And while your breath is in, mentally chant Satanama. And then exhale. Hold the breath out. Satanama. And in. Mentally chant Satanama. Exhale. Mentally chant. Great, and then keep going. And what I'd like you to experiment with is, can you repeat the chant several times on the breath held in? Can you repeat it several times on the breath held out? So essentially using the chant and the mental repetition to extend the amount of time we're able to hold the breath in and hold the breath out. So the magic spot for this is where your breath is held in for the longest it can without there being any stress. So we just spent the whole first part of our practice together by reducing the stress in our body. So we absolutely do not want to encourage that to come back through holding the breath for too long. So you find that sweet spot that works for you. over time you may find that you don't even need the mantra anymore, that while your breath is held in or out, your mind just goes to a very calm, peaceful spot. And now to end, go ahead and inhale and stretch your arms up. Relax. Enjoy the physical state that you've created for yourself. When we have a bad injury, oftentimes we put ice on it because the body's own response to that damage becomes actually part of the problem as more and more swelling and calcium goes to a wound or an injury. And so we actually have to intervene to break that crisis cycle. And I feel like that is something that we had to do this week as well. We had to break out of the body's natural crisis response. So to end today, I'd like to chant the Mahamitri mantra one more time with the wish of nurturing, healing, and rejuvenation for you. Om Trambakam Yejamahe Sukham Dim Pushtivadanam Urva Ukamevar Bandhanat Mrityo Mukshi Amam Ritat. Om Namaste, Satnam. Take care. See you next time.